people kept on asking me, how are you so productive? I didn't really think that I was particularly productive. I didn't really have that phrase productivity in my mind. But when I saw the data from the audience telling me make videos about productivity, I was like, oh, there's something here. I guess I am pretty productive. I guess I do read all these books. I did build a business while doing med school, and now I have this big YouTube channel while working as a doctor. I guess that makes me productive.
Today's episode, guys, I'm sitting back down with my man, my friend from the UK, Mr. Ali Abdaal, the #1 most subscribed to and followed productivity expert in the world, the author of the best-selling book, Feel Good Productivity. He's also got over 5 million subscribers just on YouTube.
My approach to YouTube was always, this is not a hobby, this is a business. And I think that's an unusual way of approaching YouTube.
Learn about how he's able to build a multiple 7-figure-a-year business directly through YouTube and his personal brand.
Every YouTube video you make is a product. People are not paying with their money, they're paying with their time and their attention, which is more valuable than their money. Think of everything you know about growing a business and just replace business with YouTube channel and just do the same shit.
I went deep into all the things on how we actually started, how we can make money from it, and we dived into the things that most business owners are completely screwing up.
A year into the channel, when it was started to make $5 a day on AdSense, I can buy myself a coffee every day of the week and YouTube will fund it. 6 months after that, $20 a day. I'm like, fuck, I could buy myself a takeaway every single day for the rest of my life, and YouTube will fund this. A few months into this, my YouTube income was matching my doctor salary. I was like, fuck, I'm making all this money on the side.
To be honest with you, he kind of roasted me and my YouTube channel as well. So buckle up, this is going to be an amazing episode. Come and sit down with me and my man, Mr. Ali Abdaal. What do you continually see YouTubers get wrong in the beginning that might be stunting their growth?
Oh, okay. A bunch of things. Number one, they take...
My man Ali, welcome back to the
Pottery
podcast again.
Yeah, we got this.
Let's do it. The intention of this podcast is I want these guys to really understand, I guess, why they should really be focusing on YouTube right now. Why YouTube is absolutely just banging.
Sure.
I also want to hear a little bit about your story. So you are the #1 most followed and subscribed to productivity expert in the world. You've got nearly 5 million subscribers on YouTube. You are making millions. I think we were talking in the UK, you said nearly £5 million.
Yeah, I think this year we'll do like £4.8 million revenue.
Right, which in Australian dollars is like $1 billion nearly. Right? You'd be loving it here in Australia, right? Everything's like
I think it's like 2x.
It's half, yeah. Your money is just
like I'm seeing these oysters and I'm like, $85. Oh, that's only 40 quid. Yeah. That's not bad for a dozen oysters. It's still a little bit expensive, but like, it's not bad.
Hey, when I was in London before, everything doubled. I was like, holy shit. It was insane. Yeah. So I want to talk all things with you, YouTube.
Let's do it.
You're one of the go-to persons in the world when it comes to helping people start YouTube. You've got your part-time YouTube Academy. You help people also do this. So I want to sort of dive into all things here. So first thing I want to ask you is, what actually made you even want to get into YouTube? Where did this all start for you?
I always wanted to be a YouTuber because I wanted to be a music YouTuber back in the day. Because I used to follow people like Kurt Schneider and Sam Tsui, and these are guys that would do covers of popular songs. And I was like, my dream was to be a musician on YouTube. I was like, I was going to play the guitar and play the piano.
You were a singer?
Ish. But like, I was like, I'm going to teach myself the piano and the guitar, and I'm going to play these songs, and my friends who are good at singing are going to accompany me, and it's going to be sick. So my first few videos that are still on the channel to this day, in like 2016, are videos where me and my friends are trying to sing songs. And that was how I learned how to use a camera and how to edit videos and stuff. Making these shitty music videos with me and my friends. You should check them out on the channel. Yeah. So that was like the dream of being a YouTuber. But then there was the business of being a YouTuber. And in 2017, I realized I had a business that was helping kids get into med school. And I was running these classroom, physical, real-life courses up and down the country in the UK. And I thought, if I make YouTube videos about how to get into medical school, some people will think I'm legit because I know this stuff, and they might sign up to my course and watch me on one of these seminars in real life. And I now realize this is called organic content marketing, to generate leads. I didn't know what any of those 5 things meant like 7 years ago. But I started my YouTube channel as a way of driving leads to my course, and started making videos about how to get into med school and how to do well in these entrance exams, and then vlogged life as a medical student. And then over time, by consistently doing this, it took me 52 videos and 6 months to get my first 1,000 subscribers.
How long ago?
That was 2017.
52 videos.
In 6 months.
In 6 months to get 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah. So these days I speak to so many people that are like, oh man, my channel's not growing. And I'm like, it's like they're on like 700 subscribers with like 4 videos. And I'm like, bruv, talk to me once you get to 52 videos, and then we can talk about like, why your channel's not growing and what's going on there. So 52 videos to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then video number 90 went viral, and then that took me to like 20K. Video number 106 went viral. That took me to like 50K. And, you know, for the last 7 years, we're now on, I think we'll hit 5 million subscribers this week.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's sort of just like one video is that kind of a bit of the YouTube strategy, just consistently actually doing it, and then one does a big pop-off type thing, or?
Yeah, so there's different ways of playing the YouTube game. So part of it depends on what you actually want. The thing that I normally recommend is make one video every week and do that for 2 years, and I guarantee it will change your life in some way. But you have to do one video a week, and you have to do it for 2 years. I can't tell you how much money you're going to make or how many subscribers you'll have, but I can tell you it's just 100% going to change your life. Everyone I know who's made one video a week for at least 2 years has said it's changed their life. Some of them are still working day jobs. Most of them are still working day jobs, in fairness. But they've gained skills, they've met people, they've like developed confidence. Like, a lot of good things happen when you put yourself out there on the internet consistently over the long term. So yeah, it's hard to give specific advice on this, because especially now, you know, we're recording this at the end of 2023. The YouTube algorithm has kind of changed. It's a lot less about subscribers, and it's also a lot less about consistency. The point of consistency, you know, back in the day, it was like, you know, Casey Neistat is consistent. Every day he's producing a vlog, and every day his audience is rocking up at 5 a.m. or whatever it is to watch his vlog. That's not really a normal pattern of behavior on YouTube anymore. People will go on their home screen and click on a video that appeals to them, and will watch that video. So you could have a YouTube channel that just makes one video every 6 months, and that video is a total banger. And that channel would get millions of subscribers. I have a friend called James Janney who makes videos about like fake gurus and crypto and stuff, and like Netflix documentary level videos. He's made like 16 videos, and he's got like 2 million subscribers.
Wow.
That is a very difficult strategy to employ, because every video you make has to be a banger, and it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
So generally what I recommend is, yeah, one video a week, do it for 2 years at least. You'll get better each time, and eventually one of those videos may well go viral.
Well, there's a story of this, I don't know if this is a real story or a made up story, but whatever. There's this guy, and he went to 2 groups of pot makers. And he's like, you guys here, okay, well, sorry, in 1 month, I'm going to come back, and I want you guys to both produce the best pot possible. The first group, they spend the entire month brainstorming and thinking of different ways to make the best pot. And at the end of it, they make one absolutely perfect banger pot. And the second group, all they did was they focused on just making as many as humanly possible. And at the end of it, the person who had the best pot was group 2, the ones who just did more of it.
Yep. And
that's always been my strategy as well. It's like, I'm just going to, like, even now, like, we put out videos. I really started taking YouTube kind of seriously about April this year. We've grown about 2.5K now.
Nice.
I saw it tick over on the way here. I was like, yes.
Nice. Congrats.
We're going.
That's cool.
But the main thing was actually just making the podcast come on YouTube.
Yep.
Like, I've been doing the podcast for 3.5 years.
Yep.
Never really taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why. I think I thought it was going to cost a lot more than what it does, or don't know why. Just did, but I do definitely regret that.
Yeah.
So, 2017, you start your YouTube.
Yep.
You made $3 in the first year.
Yeah.
And now in this year, just finishing 2023, you said you're coming close to about £5 million, which in Australian, it's pretty much double. It's about 10 mil Australian, which is insane.
That's revenue. So
Revenue,
profit
yeah.
is like 60% operating profit. And
Yeah.
then we have taxes and all that shit. So yeah.
Yeah, so you've built this thing into an insane, like an actual massive business.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I never, like, if you told me that this was going to happen 7 years ago, I'd have thought you were on crack or something.
Yeah. So I want people to sort of really get that, because to really understand, like, you know, if you really pick one thing and you go at it, how much it can absolutely change your life.
Yeah.
You know, so talk to me a little bit about the journey though, like the mindset. Well, like 2017, here you are making a video every week, you make $3. And I heard you were negative, you invested money in all of your gear and stuff. And you didn't really start making money until the second year, even third year. Talk to us about the actual, if you can remember the years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and how they've actually progressively grown.
Yeah, I remember this very, very vividly, because I was thinking about this a lot. Like, my approach to YouTube was always, this is not a hobby, this is a business. And I think that's an unusual way of approaching YouTube. And I think I had the unfair advantage in that I already had a successful business. I say successful. It was making like 150K revenue a year, and I was taking home like 50K pounds, which was, you know, yeah, it's pretty reasonable. You know, as a medical student, that was like, I was rich. That
was your side business.
That was my side business while I was in med school.
It's a pretty good side business.
And I made so many mistakes building that business, but I knew how to build a business. And so I applied the same philosophy of how to build a business to my YouTube channel and treated it like a business from day one. Now, what is a business? A business is a thing that provides value to other people and makes money as a result. I knew that the YouTube channel wasn't going to make money in the early days. And I was totally cool with that. My goal was I'm just going to make at least one video every week. It ended up being 2 videos a week while I was still in medical school working for my final exams. I'm just going to make 1 or 2 videos every week, and I'm going to try and be useful in those videos. And if some people vibe with me, they'll buy my course. So I had a sort of monetization built into it from day one. So then, for the first year or so, it was all medical school focused content. But then I was on the verge of graduating because I graduated in 2018. And I knew as soon as I started taking YouTube seriously that continuing to make medical school content, this is not the business I want to be in, because I have a sell-by date on medical school admissions content. I do not want to be the dude in his 30s still trying to make videos about how to get into med school. Like, that's not fun. So I needed to pivot. And I found a pivot in terms of general student content, helping students study for their exams. But even that, I was like, this is not going to last. I don't want to be the dude in his 30s making videos about helping students study for their exams when I'm 10 years out of university. This is not going to last. And so I landed on tech, weirdly. I was like, the YouTubers who have the most longevity on the platform seem to be the tech YouTubers. Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD, Linus Tech Tips, iJustine, Unbox Therapy. A lot of these guys have been around for like 10 plus years, and they're still relevant. In fact, they're more relevant today than they were 10 years ago, because tech is an interesting niche where the older you get, the more authority you have in the space. Whereas students type stuff, the older you get, the less authority you have in the space. So I made a bit of a pivot into tech. I tried making tech videos. And it was through the journey of making tech videos that I stumbled on this idea of productivity, because people kept on asking me, how are you so productive? I didn't really think that I was particularly productive. I didn't really have that phrase productivity in my mind. But when I saw the data from the audience telling me make videos about productivity, I was like, oh, okay, there's something here. I guess I am pretty productive. I guess I do read all these books. I guess, yeah, I did build a business while doing med school, and now I have this big YouTube channel while working as a doctor. I guess that makes me productive. Let's make videos about it. And so then productivity kind of became the main focus of the channel. And now we sort of branch out from that into like health and relationships and like a bit of business stuff, bit of money stuff. But it's all really with this lens of productivity. And I never set out to be a productivity YouTuber or a productivity expert, whatever the hell that even means. But I've now written a book about it, and it says on the front cover of my book, and, the publishers put it there, the world's most followed productivity expert. Again, had no idea that this is how it would be. But like with any business, you try it out, you do the thing, you try and add value, you try and make money. And in the course of doing the business, you will make pivots and you will figure things out along the way.
What I find extremely fascinating about all this is, so about 6 years, 7 years you've been doing this now.
Yeah, 6.5.
And I'd probably say you're in higher than the top 1% for sure. Wealthiest people in the world now, right? Business.
Sure.
For sure. 10 million Australian. We'll keep it Australian because it makes more sense for me. 10 million Australian revenue business.
Yep.
But a lot of people would look at and go, 6 to 7 years is a long time to do something to build that, right? And
would they? Is that a long time?
Well,
to build?
No. I think if they knew, hey, if you do this for 6 years, you'll have they would fucking do it.
Oh, okay, right.
What I'm getting at is, because it's not abnormal. Like, I've sat down with hundreds of people on this podcast and people in my network. Yeah. Same thing. About the 6 to 10 year mark, they just fucking explode. But the first 6 years, first 3 years is a slog.
Yeah.
And a lot of people quit. And I think they quit because they think that it's a long time to get what they want, but they never think about the rest of their life in a job they don't like. That's a long time to stay broke and unhappy.
Yeah.
So what was the mindset of you through, because the first 3 years you weren't making gangster money, and it was probably costing you a lot, like your gear and the time and all of this. What was the mindset that kind of got you through of it? Because you said you built it from a business from the start. If you focus on it as a business, you know you're willing to do things right now and delay gratification. So what was the mindset that really helped you through the years where you weren't making gangster money yet?
Yeah, honestly, I think the trick was that I wasn't trying to make gangster money. I was just trying to make side hustle money. I was trying to make pocket money. So a year into the channel, when it was started to make $5 a day on AdSense, $10 Australian, $10 a day on AdSense, I was like, fuck, I can buy myself a coffee every day of the week, and YouTube will fund it. 6 months after that, $20 a day. I'm like, fuck, I could buy myself a takeaway every single day for the rest of my life, and YouTube will fund this. And then I started work as a doctor. And, you know, a few months into this, my YouTube income was matching my doctor salary. I was getting about 3K a month pounds as a doctor, and so 6K Australian, and similar on YouTube AdSense. This was like 4 months into my job. And I was like, fuck, I'm making all this money on the side. Cool, this is cool. I don't know how long this is going to last, but this is pretty cool right now. I'm going to keep these videos going. And eventually this idea of like, oh, sick, I'm making money and doing this thing that I enjoy, ended up making gangster money.
Yeah.
But I think had my goal been to make gangster money, it would have felt like there's an enormous gap between where I am and where I want to be. But that was never the goal. The goal was, I'm just going to keep on making one video a week and just seeing what happens, because I'm making all this free cash on the side. That's pretty cool.
It's just like that chop wood, carry water.
Yeah, genuinely.
Just do the thing.
Yeah, honestly, even now, like, there is no difference between what I was doing now and what I'm doing now and what I was doing 5 years ago.
Right.
6 years ago. It's all the same thing. Chop wood, carry water. Learn stuff, make the video. Learn stuff, make the video. Learn stuff, make the video. And repeat.
So for people wanting to get started on YouTube,
Yeah.
from you've now trained thousands.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
like 3,000-ish. Yeah.
I've gone through your stuff, right? What do you continually see YouTubers get wrong in the beginning that might be stunting their growth?
Oh, okay. A bunch of things. Number one, they take too long to get started. They overthink the shit out of their first video. No one gives a shit about your first video. It's not going to go viral. It's going to be awful. That's okay. You know, the mantra that I had in my mind when I started was my first 100 videos are going to be awful. And that's okay. Let's just get through the first 100. Use those as almost a training ground to learn how to actually make good videos. And then I'll worry about video 101 when the time comes. Conveniently, video number 91 went viral. But like, yeah, people just overthink way too much in the early stages. Problem number two is people quit way too early. They don't see results. You know, you tell them, you know, it took me 52 videos to get 1,000 subscribers, and they're like, oh my God, 52 videos, wow, that's a lot. I was like, the average YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers has 150 videos. My channel grew 3 times faster than average, and it still took me 52 videos to get the first 1,000 subscribers. That's a lot of videos. And then people are like, oh, you know, life gets in the way, and time, and kids, and energy, and like all of that kind of stuff, the job. It's like, I get it. Like, you know, we all have shit that, you know, very few people succeed on YouTube by being full-time YouTubers from day one.
Yeah.
We all had to do it while juggling lots of other things along the way. And I don't judge other people's circumstances. You know, people's circumstances are their own. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. If someone had a gun to your kids' heads and said, you have to make a video every week, otherwise I'm going to blow the brains out, you'd find a way to make that video every single week. You know, if the motivation is sufficiently strong, then we can find a way to make it happen. My motivation was, A, this is fun and I'm making free money, but B, if I continue making this amount of money, it means I have the option of leaving medicine, or it means I have the option of going part-time in medicine. Because I knew 0 doctors who enjoyed full-time medicine, but like half the doctors I knew would have enjoyed it more if they were part-time. The other half would have wanted to quit. And so I kind of knew that, like, okay, part-time medicine is the way to go. I want to work 3 days a week as a doctor because that seems fun. That seems to be like the highest kind of ROI on my happiness and, like, you know, all that jazz. But that means I need to make money on the side. So the negative outcome of being shackled to a job that I didn't enjoy was also a thing that was driving me at the start. But people just quit way too early. They don't do it for nearly long enough to see the results. And then the third thing that screws people up is, provided they've gotten started and provided they've managed to stay consistent with it, they struggle to turn it into a business, i.e. they struggle to stand out in their niche and they struggle to monetize. So they struggle to stand out because they are trying to copy what someone else is doing, which is very hard to do. Like, it's very hard to now be a productivity YouTuber because there's me and a bunch of other people doing it. Actually, it's not anymore because a lot of the other people have left the market. Like, I'm one of the very few people who's still continuing to plug away making productivity videos. So someone could come in and start making videos about productivity, and a few people have. But you have to offer something different. You have to stand out in some kind of way. People don't think about how they can stand out. People don't do a competitor analysis. Like, if you were opening an Italian restaurant down the road, you wouldn't just open an Italian restaurant because you like Italian food. Because A, the skills of being a restaurateur are very different to the skills of being a good chef. B, you would look at what else is in the area. You would see, what other Italian restaurants are there in the local area? Okay, what about just what other restaurants are there? What's the footfall in this street in Sydney that I've been thinking of opening my Italian restaurant in? Is that legit? Let me run some numbers. Like, would this make sense? What can I do to stand out compared to the other restaurants in the area? Could I use any kind of marketing strategies to get people to come to my restaurant? You'd be thinking about all those things, but people don't think about that for a YouTube channel. Or they think about it way too early. So it's sort of like 3 levels. Level 1, get going. Level 2, get good. Level 3, get smart. And at each different point in that journey, I see people just completely screwing it up, either by not getting started early enough, or by not staying consistent to the point that they're actually good, or by not thinking like a business once they've gotten to the point where the content needs to stand out. Because YouTube is really, really hard to do. It is not what I would recommend if someone wants to make 10K a month. You know, that's for a lot of people, that's a goal. If people are like, I want to start a YouTube channel to make 10K a month, I'm like, do not start a YouTube channel to get to 10K a month, because there are far more efficient ways to do it. Start a service-based business, charge 5K a month for a client, sell to businesses, they have money. Please, for the love of God, do not start a YouTube channel if the goal is to make 10K a month. But if you like the idea of making YouTube videos, if you like the idea of putting yourself on camera and sharing a message with the world in some kind of way, and you like the idea of maybe making money from it someday, now let's talk.
So how would one do a competitor analysis then?
Yeah.
So let's say someone's early days YouTube, really wanted to get smart now, like you said.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
So let's do it for your channel. So
yeah.
So who are your competitors in this podcasting space?
I don't know, because my channel is kind of both, actually, and tell me if I'm doing this wrong. Because I do 2 episodes a week on my podcast. One is a guest and then one is a solo.
Nice.
So when I went to YouTube, I actually focused on going, okay, the podcast is still the podcast. Clearly it's a podcast video. But my solo episode is actually now to say YouTube video.
Cool.
I'm like, I record it for YouTube first, and we take the audio, it goes on podcast as well. So I'm like, I kind of have podcast and just growing like a video a week solo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But if we were to look at competitors in the podcast space, I guess we'd be looking at like a Lewis Howes, a Diary of a CEO, these types of people. If we're looking just for the videos I put out, I'm not entirely sure. Like,
So what are some titles of videos you've put out recently?
Just let's have a look.
Or just some topics off the top.
Yeah, like all my stuff is, success, success, entrepreneurship, personal development, mindset.
Okay, Alex
money.
Hormozy?
Kinda.
Okay.
He's probably more how to grow a business, got that credibility.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So step one would be to...
I'm on Ghazi.
Oh, okay, fine.
Let's say him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hamza?
I don't know.
Okay. So step one would be to figure out who are the competitors. So, or rather, let's zoom out. Step one is to think, what am I actually trying to do here? What's the goal? So let's just run this through. Like, what's the goal of your YouTube channel?
Definitely want to just grow it fucking big.
Okay. Why?
Yeah. Audience impact. So I just understand, like, from a business point of view, top of every customer journey is a big audience.
Yeah.
The more people I can be in front of, the more people we can serve, more people we can do business with.
Sick.
I got a big impact, take out events all around the world.
Amazing. And who are the sorts of people that you would love to be subscribed to your YouTube channel?
Who are the sorts of people I'd love?
Who's your ideal target avatar?
Entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs wanting to grow and scale and start their business. So people maybe making, and so the combination of 2 people. Entrepreneurs who are like, have a business and I'm wanting to just really create freedom for myself now. Sure. And then also the people who are watching it going, I'm in a job or I have a life I'm not totally loving, and I want to create my dream life.
Okay. It's very hard to target both entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs at the same time. If you had to pick, which one would you go for?
Entrepreneurs.
Okay. Nice. So your content should be aimed at then entrepreneurs. And so content around like how to start a business is less interesting. Like you'll notice Alex Hormozy doesn't do that much content about how to start a business. He does a lot of content about how to grow a business.
Yeah.
But there's still tons and tons and tons of entrepreneurs in his audience who want to start a business, but who just love watching his stuff, right? I think that's probably fair to say.
So that would just come.
Yeah. Like the target is not necessarily the market. Like Apple markets their products to creative professionals. Most people with iPhones are not creative professionals. So most people with MacBook Pros are not creative professionals. They're just like people who are rich and who like the idea of being a creative professional. So, okay, nice. So your goal is to get entrepreneurs, like what sort of revenue level?
Let's say 100K plus a year.
100K plus, what, like 10 million or like
100K? 100K plus, so 10K a month.
Okay, cool.
10K a month and above.
So you want to aim, you want your YouTube channel to be targeted at entrepreneurs who are already making 10K a month. And your YouTube channel will do what for them? What will it help them do?
Help them build their business bigger, faster, without killing themselves in the process, and help them really identify the mindset other than just work hard, hustle.
Yeah.
The people transitioning out of like, it's not, I don't just want to work hard. I want to start working smart. I want to do my life better. I want to be more intelligent. I want to really master my mind. What's up, Dream Nation? Have you ever wondered how far ahead your life would have already been if you had got access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm trying to build the #1 personal development platform out there to teach you guys the tips, tricks, and attitude of what it takes to live your dream life, and to bring the type of education that we all wish we had in school. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could smash that subscribe button right now, leave us a 5-star written review or drop a comment below and share this episode with a friend. I would be forever grateful. All right, now let's get back into this episode.
Okay. Are you sure?
I think.
I'm going to make I'm going to make a statement, and feel free to.
Yeah.
I want you to disagree with this.
Okay.
But from what I've seen of your content and how we've been talking in this interview, it's not felt like the target audience of this is an entrepreneur who's already making 10K a month. It's felt like the target audience of the conversation we've had and the one you did with, what's her name, Sarah? Sarah something?
Dr. Sarah Amadani?
Yeah. It sounded like the target audience was more like people in day jobs who, for whom this is motivation and encouragement and inspiration to actually, follow their dreams and finally make progress on starting that business that they've always dreamed of starting. If we were actually targeting people aiming to 10K a month, like I got to 10K a month 3 years into my YouTube channel, we would have been talking systems, we would have been talking operations, we would have been talking delegation, we'd have been talking how do you manage to remove yourself as a key person of influence, as a dependency in your whole content production system. We'd have been talking about what does your offer and funnel system look like, and how do you get organic traffic in as leads into your course? Fuck, you make 3 million from your course. Okay, cool. How do you that's the thing that people who are already at 10K a month need. I suspect, I could be wrong here, but I suspect it's not like, make sure you combat your fears by remembering that no one gives a fuck. Like, these guys are already making 10K a month. So are you actually targeting entrepreneurs making 10K a month, or are you targeting normal people who have a day job who want to start a business and you are their source of inspiration for that?
I guess this is good because it's helped me. So when I first started, right?
Yeah.
So for the last 2 years, it really was, I think, because the passion in me is like, I want to help the people who were once like me.
Yeah, sure.
Like, where the fuck do I go, right?
Yeah.
And I think through that, I realized that from a business perspective, they're probably not the best. Because people who already have a business, they're more willing to, they're faster to integrate, they're easy to work with, they have the money to spend, to invest, and they're my funner clients because we can get them results.
Okay.
I'm good at accelerating,
Yeah.
and I think my passion is helping people ignite. And I have...
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think from a business point of view, I know it's not the most smartest. So we have actually started the transition over the last few months.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I'm saying to you right now, I think moving to the new year, I think where I'm better fit is not the person who's like, oh, how do I put an Instagram post? I'm like, fuck, bro, I want to help you dial in your funnel.
Yeah, nice.
I want to help you actually get multiple 6 figures this year.
Okay.
So what am I kind of doing wrong there? Is it because I'm still talking to that old person, or...
I think so. Ayman Ghazi is not talking to entrepreneurs making 10K a month.
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to kids who are he's talking to teenage boys who want to make money online.
Yeah.
That is
And
by
what's he
far the
sell?
bulk of his audience. A course on how to make money online. His educate thing is Agency Navigator, how to become a high-ticket sales closer. And you can make 10K a month if you become a high-ticket sales closer, if you just learn the skills of high-ticket sales closing. His content is aimed at kids who want to get rich. It's very inspirational for that target market. Hormozi stuff is different. I watch Hormozi's long form videos because as a business owner doing several million a year in revenue, I'm like, fuck, there's things I can learn, tangible, practical things I can learn from Hormozi that will help me get to 10 million pounds in revenue or things like that. And Hormozi is hoping that people get to over 3 million so then he can acquire them through acquisition.com.
Yeah.
He still occasionally does content that is inspirational and aimed at people who have not yet started a business. But it's not his core target audience. Whereas Ayman Ghazi's core target audience is people who have not yet started. Because his whole thing, if you watch his stuff, is like, the education system is terrible. Like, you've been told a lie that if you just grind it out like a cog in a machine, that you're going to blah, 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 blah. But the ticket to freedom is to start your own business. That's not aimed at people who already make 10K a month. So what I would see from your thing is that it seems as if you are trying, it seems as if we're not yet clear on what are we actually trying to do here. Or rather, who is the... It's like when a business is not clear on who they're speaking to and what they're trying to do for them, it's very hard for that business to succeed.
Yeah.
And so if you want to treat your YouTube channel like a business, we need to be clear on those things. And I'm only saying this because you're already years into the journey. If you were a beginner, I'd be like, bruv, let's just make a video a week. Come on, you got this, blah, blah, blah. But you're at a different stage, so I can I can give you the business talk.
Yeah. No, so it's good then, right?
Yeah.
So, because I guess there's for the people who are watching this and I have a YouTube and why isn't it fucking growing? So competitive analysis, find the people that are similar, but then I guess what you're telling me is really refined, because I guess what I've been doing is speaking to two people.
Yeah.
which is, if I'm doing it, chances are a lot of other people are doing it as well. So we're going to speak to one person first.
So, and that person is making 10K a month already.
Okay.
So they probably don't need that much in terms of like mindset and stuff. Or maybe they do, but they're not seeking it out. The person making 10K a month is not seeking out ways to be more confident. They're seeking out ways to grow their business, and you sprinkle in, Tony Robbins' business mastery there's a lot of motivational stuff in there.
Yeah.
But like the core selling point of the event is you will grow your business and move from being an operator to an owner. And that's really cool. Like imagine how amazing your life could be. And then along the way, we've got all the motivational stuff that makes people like, yeah, I can do it too. But someone wanting to grow their business wouldn't go to like unleash the power within. It's not targeted at that crowd.
Yeah.
Like there were people at Business Mastery, like one guy was doing 700 million a year. Loads of people were doing like millions a year. Like it was like, nice, this is good shit.
Yeah. Okay. So competitor analysis. People got to dial in. What's something you wish you did at the start or sooner?
Delegation. I wish I'd hired an editor way sooner than I did. It took me 2 years to outsource my editing.
Wow.
I was doing all the editing myself. I was spending like 20 hours a week editing while working full-time as a doctor, while trying to do the filming and writing and all that shit myself. I wish someone had slapped me in the face and said, outsource your fucking editing, like within like 3 months of starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Because you can do it quite cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like overseas, like we have like I obviously I'm not a fucking tech guy.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's plugged in. Like I have zero idea. Yeah. So we've outsourced everything.
Nice.
I've heard you say one of the most important things. I think I heard you say somewhere else even about thumbnails. I know Mr. Beast. Well, I don't know. I've heard Mr. Beast spends $100,000 designing his thumbnail, and only then once he's got it good, he then creates a video. A thumbnail's real. Obviously, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to say, oh, of course not. Mr. Beast, number one YouTuber in the world. How important really are thumbnails? Or like what? Like, how does he put $100,000 in a thumbnail? What do you need to do?
Yeah. So thumbnails are a tricky one. So what Mr. Beast actually says is like, the content is fundamentally the thing that matters. But once you've got a really good video, you want to give it really good packaging. And there's this sort of weird like, yes, titles and thumbnails are very important. A lot of it depends on the niche. So, for example, Chris Williamson's thumbnails are not that special, right? Like it's the face of the person, blue border, text. Diary of a CEO, their thumbnails are not that special. They do a shit ton of A/B testing on like they test like 100 thumbnails per episode on like specifically what's the text that's going to be in the thumbnail and how does that vibe with what's going to be in the title. If you're trying to grow a podcast channel, the thumbnails don't need to be that wacky because people have an expectation of what a podcast is. If you're doing an educational YouTube channel or YouTube videos like your solo podcast episodes, again, the thumbnail is important, but you could pick a house style like you have for your podcast thumbnails and just stick to that, and it would be totally fine. Like my thumbnails are not that fancy; they're just like me smiling at the camera with some icons around me. Like that is the thing. I think for educational channels, the title, like the concept and the title is like really, really, really important because the concept and the title determines how the concept and the title determines the view potential of that video.
So the concept, he's referring to like the actual video itself?
Yeah, like what's the video about? So like if we like bring up one of your recent, like well, what's an example of a video you've done where you were speaking to the camera directly?
I think we just dropped something this week, like 3 biggest lessons from this year or some shit like that.
Okay, so that is a community video. That's not going to grow your channel. So what's a video that, because the only people that give a shit about that video are the people who are already following you.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's a video that you've done recently that is, and this is another mindset shift. Like some videos are discoverable, where the objective is to grow your audience. Yeah. Some videos are community, where the objective is to increase depth and connection with your existing audience. Some videos are sales, where the objective is to get people off the platform to buy something from you. Okay,
so this one here I did, how to reinvent yourself in 2024. Performed shithouse.
Is that good or bad? Shithouse. Is that a good thing?
Not good.
Performed shit. Okay.
We've only got 69 views on that one.
Okay, can you give me some more titles that you're like?
Yeah. Another one was this one went okay, and I think it went good because I had the Pornhub logo almost in the thumbnail.
Okay, cool.
I said personal development porn. 99% do this wrong.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Can you give me some more titles? I'm just trying to get a sense of like.
Yep. If I start a podcast in 2024, I'll do this. And then these productivity tricks tripled my income.
Oh, okay. The other thing that you're doing is you're trying to do too many topics.
Yeah, I think because I guess my strategy going into this was I'm going to do a heap of different random shit
Okay.
and see which
See
one
what sticks. Yep.
Yeah, and one thing I've already noticed, especially with the podcast episodes, when we put anything that is about money,
Yep.
they just bomb. Like, sorry, they go good.
Yeah, of course.
Like
Yeah,
if we
that
put
would
like
have been my.
money, and I'm like, that's annoying because not all my podcasts are about this person make this much money, but they just go well.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sort of just testing because I'm really just making videos about because I have so much content in my head. I'm just putting shit out. What works kind of good.
Nice. So if you were a beginner, I would say that this is great. Like, put shit out there, see what sticks, double down, blah, 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 blah. You're not a beginner. You have a business. You know who your target audience is. And your YouTube channel is a business asset where the goal is to inspire a certain number of people and drive sales, drive leads that are a certain type of person. So you don't need to do what beginner YouTubers do, which is chuck shit at the wall and see what sticks. What you need to do is double down on, like, who is the person I'm trying to speak to, and let me just only make content that speaks to that person. This is if you want to approach a YouTube channel like a business. One question I'd like to ask people is, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is a hobby and 10 is a business, where would you place your YouTube channel?
Now, about an 8.
Okay, cool. So that's very businessy. So if someone
Yeah.
was like a 3, I'd say, you know what? You've got all this stuff in your head. You enjoy making videos about productivity, podcasting, personal development, mindset, money, health, relationship. You've got all this stuff in your head. It's really cool. Cool. You're a 3 out of 10. It's basically a hobby for you. Don't worry about it. Just like make what you want. If you're an 8 out of 10, it's like, oh shit, this is a business. This would be like trying to set up an Italian restaurant and also trying to sell books and tampons and like toilet paper. Just trying to be the next Amazon because you're like, hey, I have all this shit to sell and I just want to sell it. And like, I just want to see what works. You could do that, but it would be a very indirect way to get to your goal, which is I want to find a way to actually speak to the people who I want to attend my events and who I want to help. I want to drive results for. So I'd be thinking all of those titles, like none of those, maybe these 3 productivity things tripled my income. I think if it was like these productivity tricks grew my business, sort of 10x my business, it's like now we're speaking to a 10K month entrepreneur. Because they'd be like, oh, hello, I'd love to 10x my business. But these 3 productivity tricks tripled my income is speaking to someone with a job.
It's so interesting, yeah. It's the like one word.
Yeah, how to start a podcast, start to finish. It's like, is appealing to someone who wants to start a podcast. It's not really appealing. How to start a podcast to drive leads for your B2B business. Boom. That's appealing to the person making 10K a month. Probably B2B business, I suspect.
Do you have a process for people to sort of start to identify, you know, because if I sit down with people, you know, want to dial in their marketing, I'm going to ask them 4 things. I'm going to say, what are the fears of your ideal client, frustrations, wants, and desires? And we market to that, you know, market the things they don't want, market towards the things that they do want.
Perfect. Exactly the same for a YouTube channel. I'll give you access to our course. It's got like a bunch of it's basically that. Yeah. But applied to think of everything you know about growing a business and just replace business with YouTube channel and just do the same shit.
That's funny.
Identify your target avatar, figure out what they want, figure out what their needs are, figure out how much money they have, figure out is this really the person you want to be targeting? What business are you in? What business do you want to, what business do you need to be in? What are the products every YouTube video you make is a product. People are not paying with their money, they're paying with their time and their attention, which is more valuable than their money. So it needs to, be packaged up in your thumbnail, your title is your landing page. It's your offer. The video itself is the fulfillment. You've got to sell the offer and make the offer a Grand Slam offer before you can sell the fulfillment. The fulfillment is the video itself. It's all the same principles applied to a YouTube channel. But a lot of people don't think in this way because growing on YouTube is distinct to growing a business, but it's actually the same thing.
It is. Yeah, well, everything you're saying right now, it's funny because it's like, it is just business talk. It's funny, like it's like you're roasting my YouTube, and it's so good.
And I'm saying it really fast because I know you know what I'm talking about, and I know you teach this shit. So if you were more of a beginner, I'd elaborate on this a lot more. But you get what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% get what you mean.
Treat yourself as if you were your own client. And the client was like, I've got this acquisition channel, and this acquisition channel for leads for my business, it's not doing too well. It's on, we hit 2,500 subs, but like we got 69 views on this video that had Pornhub in it, or whatever the fuck. You'd be like, what's the goal of this acquisition channel? And they'd be like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to dial that in more. But it makes total fucking perfect sense because if you're not growing your business past, like you can probably get a business to 7K, 10K a month by just selling shit.
Yeah.
But then after, it's a marketing game and having to dial in your messaging and bringing people in.
100%.
So it's the
all
same
of
thing.
that shit. Like
get 1,000 subscribers, I got to dial it in. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your ideas? Like, how many videos have you made now?
Like 700 and something.
So do you have a process on extracting ideas from your brain?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a very elaborate process. So, okay, so first thing to say is that for me, my YouTube channel is a bit different from yours because for me, the YouTube channel is an end in itself. It's not a means to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to say that in a sort of a negative way, but like, a question for you: if you had all the money in the world, would you still make YouTube videos?
Yes,
You would,
because I want
because
the
you want-
audience.
you want-
I guess the huge big mission of
Yeah.
this is mass impact. So if I had all the money in the world, what I'd do, I'd I'd pay you however much you want to tell me exactly how to build my YouTube.
Okay, because you care about the impact.
Yes,
Okay,
because
sick.
I want to go
Perfect.
massive fucking platform, big. Because then I just
Yeah.
want to like my ultimate goal is like if I don't have to work at all anymore,
Sure.
I just want to pick up 1 or 2 wicked speaking gigs a month and just travel and sell books and do stuff like that.
Sick. Okay, that sounds good. That's fairly similar to my goal. Like, I would still make YouTube videos even if I had 100.
Yeah,
million in the
because
bank.
I like teaching.
Yeah, same. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we're aligned in that kind of
Yeah.
motive. So the way I think about content ideas is the broad goal, mission statement is we help people build a life they love through inspiring educational content. And the monetization formula is we make lots of free content and some people will buy our paid stuff. Cool. Fairly standard info product marketing business. So when it comes to the content then, we have 8 different nodes of content. So it's like all of them is build a life you love, but there's 8 different things. There's productivity, personal development, health, relationships, business, money, creator, and student. These are our 8 kind of nodes. We call them nodes, or like verticals that we're trying to go after, or that we're trying to create content in. So every
You
couple
personally?
of months, yeah, me
Yeah.
personally. So every couple of months, I'll sit down with Tintin, who's my YouTube producer, and we'll do a little idea generation session, where we'll think, okay, in the next 3 months, we've got, let's say, we're aiming to do, let's say, 1 video a week. So that's 12 videos in the next 3 months. Great. Let's make 2 videos about productivity, 2 about personal development. Let's do 1 about business, 1 about money, 1 about health, 1 about relationships, 1 about creator, and 1 for students. That roughly adds up to 12. I think it does. Yeah. Cool. Great. So what are those 2 productivity videos going to be? And then I will think, what's something cool I've learned that I want to teach? Or, so that's one way of doing it. Or Tintin will say, because he spends time doing this, he'll be like, okay, so I really think we should make a video about discipline. And I'd be like, oh, why is that? And he'd say, well, when Ryan Holiday was on Diary of a CEO, they called his episode The Discipline Expert, and that episode got 5 million views, which is like a huge outlier for them. Iman Ghazi did a video that had the word discipline in the title. Jocko Willink talks about discipline all the time, and his videos always go viral. I think there's something around discipline that the audience would really like. So if we go with that one, then we're like, okay, cool. So we want to do a video about discipline. Then I'll think, what are my thoughts on discipline? Like, how does this work? And, actually, I don't think discipline is all that it's cracked up to be, and blah, 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 blah. And we'll sort of have a bit of a conversation about it. And Tintin will go away and come up with a title for that video. How to be effortlessly disciplined, the 5 mindset shifts or something. And then I'll go away and either do the research myself or just speak from the heart or like outsource some of the research to a researcher because I'll be like, I want to talk about these 4 things, but, researcher, can you find some evidence about mental contrasting and implementation intentions? Because I know that's related to discipline, but I want to be able to cite the study. Then I'll go through the process. We'll do this for like all 12 videos. And Tintin will be the one coming up with the title and the thumbnail because that's the bit I don't enjoy. And I'll just get given a title and a thumbnail. And I'll be like, cool, this is the video I'm making. And then we can talk about this in the car because we're not but like each different video has different level. There's level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Level 1 is I hit record and I just purely speak from the heart. Level 2 is I spend 10 minutes drafting out some bullet points and then I hit record. Level 3 is I draft some bullet points and someone else kind of makes some of them a little bit juicier, i.e. finding extra evidence or finding research or finding a cool story, and I'll direct them to do that. Level 4 is the video has been basically written by someone else, but it's in bullet points. So if we convert a podcast episode into a main channel video, we'll have talking points for me with like the sound bites. So I can kind of easily film the video. And level 5 is a fully word-for-word video written by someone else. I don't like doing those because those are not fun, but I've dabbled with those in the past.
Yeah.
So that's our process for idea generation.
Damn. Man, I think the biggest thing that people need to take from this, and I'm definitely taking, is you've like, and you already said it, like you look at this, everything it is, this is a business.
Yeah.
And you've grown it like one. So it's like, and you've just made your main freaking thing. And then because you've grown this incredible audience, it's very easy to plug other things in off the back of it now. And
yeah. But it's a business.
Even the way you've structured and everything, the way you think about it, the way you do it, but that's the biggest difference because a lot of people, including me, like I have 3 other companies, right? So when I started this, and the podcast is a fucking business. Like it's insane what goes into put all this on and do it all.
Yeah.
So like the bandwidth, I think that's why it lags
Yeah.
a bit, but there's always a new level. So after this conversation, I'm like, like when I went to the UK and spoke with you and Chris and Steven and stuff, I was like, I was close to actually stopping the podcast before then because I was like, it's not fun anymore. But talking to those guys, and I actually left. And then the first episode I did after that was with Sarah, and it fucking went off.
Yeah.
Because I had so much more fun with it, and I planned for it. And now every episode I do like what I've done here, and it's a lot better now. But it's because I learned there. These guys don't fuck around. It's a whole other level. I thought I was doing okay.
Yeah.
But I'm nothing. This is always
mate,
the new
when
level.
I see Steven's stuff, I'm like, fuck, there's a whole other level. Yeah.
Borderline makes you want to quit seeing his shit.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's inspiring in some ways and very demotivating in others.
Yes. Ali, bro, I really appreciate you. We've got to wrap it up. This has been a really sick YouTube. This has been a sick video of you roasting me on my YouTube. So I hope a lot of people got a lot of value from this. You have a YouTube academy that people can learn all these things. So we're going to plug that below as well.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So people get access to Ali's shit here. But where else can everybody find you on social media in the whole world?
Yeah, check me out on YouTube, Ali Abdaal. And if you're interested in growing on YouTube, I have a bunch of videos about it and where I break it down in more like with more frameworks and stuff. Because this was more of like a roast session, just sort of going off the cuff based on what I could see of your channel. But there's like a whole framework behind all this stuff that people can see completely for free on my YouTube channel if they want.
Amazing. And you've just released your new book. Where can everybody get your book?
Yeah, so the book is called Feel Good Productivity. It's about how to be more productive, but in a way that actually feels good. So it's not about time management and like calendars and shit, but it's more about like the philosophy of how you actually encourage yourself to enjoy your work a little bit more. So that's available in all bookstores, or you can check it out at feelgoodproductivity.com.
Yeah. And if you want to see me pick his brain and get the 17 best things from that whole book, you can check out the videos that come up right after this.
Nice. Good stuff.
Thank you, my brother.
Thanks, man.
I'll see you next
Good
time
sesh.
I see you.
See you next time.
Let's go.
Woo, it's a wrap.